Hi, everybody. I'm LHG, Latanya Harris Gooden, and I am the founder, creator, and lead podcast host for Critical Conversations, the network. So, what is the Critical Conversations Network and where did it come from? It is a platform that is dedicated to discussing the 7 dimensions of wellness and wholeness. I am on Facebook and YouTube. So reach out. I would love to speak with you about whatever ideas you might already have about a podcast. You never know. You could be sitting on a gold mine.
All right, hang in there with me, y'all. Let me get my brother back. There we go. I'm gonna get the technical stuff together. Y'all praying for me? I'm trying. Little by little. I'm so not techie. So good evening, everybody. It's Monday evening. Welcome to Power Hour, your 1 hour, one voice, one shift, reclaiming your power. This is the hour we remind ourselves will never shrink again. 60 minutes. This is your huddle. You may not have a huddle at work the way you should. We're giving you that power moment to remind you. First of all, thank you for showing up. Number 2, we're going to make it a good day. And number 3, we're going to give it all we got because we're worth it. So I want to thank you for being here. I'm excited about tonight's conversation. Every episode makes me stronger when it comes to my brother and what he brings to the forefront regarding confidence, regarding financial freedom. We're going to be going there tonight. If you haven't heard his testimony, I'm telling you, you will be amazed. And I am just in awe of what God is doing in his life through his family. And he's made it a family affair. And I think that we need to adopt that principle where money management, money freedom, financial freedom can be a family lesson. Doesn't have to just be a mom and dad. And we was growing up, money was left, those conversations were behind closed doors. And for some of us, those conversations were not, they were argumentative, they were combative, they were harsh. So we've taken that into our adult life, and we may have the wrong mindset or a traumatic response when it comes to how to handle money. They said you get out there, you work real hard, you go to Ford, GM, or Chrysler, you work for 212 years, you retire at 213 years old and try not to die. Right. It may sound harsh, but that was what people did. They migrated here from other parts of the country to get to the automobile industry. That is where people thought that their financial freedom was. And maybe it was in 1982. But today may be different. So I welcome my brother. I welcome all of you all coming in. Thank you for being here. Please go ahead and tag and share to all of your platforms and help us get the word out, because Freedom Friday will be here this Friday. So, brother, welcome once again. And thank you, as always, for being here.
Thank you for having me. You're such an amazing talent at this. Most people, when they see individuals speak on television, they think it's so easy. You make it look easy. How talented you are. So I'm always excited to get outside my comfort zone, coming on this podcast with you. And I can't wait to encourage and help the individuals that's on this line tonight.
Absolutely. And I think, I know one of the big things that Critical Conversations Network is based on is community. And we don't have to try to figure things out alone. Get depressed, get anxious, give up. What I experienced on, what day was that? June the 6th, 2026, in the locker room. I got my notes. It changed my life, even as a vendor in the room. I wasn't even expecting, those kinds of nuggets towards us as entrepreneurs, but it's the same principle.
That's right.
Whatever it is you're trying to do in your finances, be it you may be a paparazzi consultant, you may be a coach, you sell Mary Kay, you may be whatever it is you do, you may be a person who has a 9 to 5. Nothing wrong with that. But financial freedom is available for us all as long as we have the proper strategy. And I love the fact that you are pouring into us and reminding us that no matter how much or little we have, you can still have financial freedom and have a strategy. And you also reminded us that we don't have to worry so much about what we think we can't do. We're always, well, I can't. I don't feel good. I don't have this. I don't have a degree. I got health challenges. I'm on disability, whatever. And I'm not minimizing any of that. But there's still a way for you to live a life financially free, no matter what. Hi, Stacy. Thank you for coming through, Miss Stacy John. Love you, sister. Y'all go ahead and share. So I want to, first of all, let's start on a foundational level. For those who have never tuned into Power Hour, Andrew, and kind of remind the listeners and viewers what it is that you do.
Well, again, thank you. I am a motivational speaker and a daddy-daughter coach.
Okay.
I'm a husband, father of 4 beautiful girls. Again, God said, be fruitful and multiply. I took him seriously, right?
Yes, you did.
And what we do at Rewrite the Vision, I'm a founder of Rewrite the Vision. We help individuals rediscover their original purpose.
Yes.
We're all born unique, but we die as a copy, as Les Brown would say. We're all unique. We're born unique, but we die as a copy. We die as somebody else's vision for ourselves. When we had a whole entire gift that was untapped.
Wow.
Imagine being at your deathbed and all your gifts and talents surround you. Like, you never let us out. You never showed us to the world. And so we help individuals rediscover their original purpose. We help them rewrite the vision, not to live out of their personal history, but their future. Because when you have faith in your future, you have power in your present, as John C. Maxwell would say. And we're just excited to work with individuals. I'm no stranger to difficulties. I struggled to read and write at an early adult age.
Okay.
I started looking for ATMs that dispense dollar bills. That's how broke I was. And when you're broke and you can't read or write, it affects your relationships. And so in life, there are only 3 things that's going on. It's either a relationship problem, a financial problem, or a health problem. And I went through all 3. And to go through all of that and still to come out of that and still have a testimony.
Yes.
And I said, God, this testimony that you've given me, I'm going to share it with the world, because we have so many individuals that just judge people on the outside. They see them from the outside and think they got it all going on. They really don't know the truth. And sometimes those individuals are just a step away from giving up, or a step away from getting to their promise. And we want to help individuals and Rewrite the Vision go closer to their promise versus giving up.
Wow, it's powerful. Thank you all for being here. Leonard Reed, thank you for joining in. He's one of our newest hosts on CCN. Make sure that you tune in to the Let Me Tell You Something podcast, bringing Detroit culture, old school wisdom with the new school reality. Lisa Brown, welcome. Thank you. Good evening to you as well. Please go ahead and share. Let's go to the beginning. When you are born and you are being raised by your parents or being raised by whoever, whether you're in the foster system, whatever it is, whoever's around you is teaching you about money. What were some of your early lessons that you can remember about money as a child?
It's interesting that you asked that, because most children have their concept of the world and money and relationships by the time they're age 3 or 5 years old.
Wow.
This is crazy. We learn about money and our limitations by the time we're 5 years old. We carry that to our adulthood.
Yes.
When I was 5, right, it felt like we didn't have a lot of money. And so what was money? What's the definition of money to me? We didn't have enough. You can't get what you want. You can't buy that because we don't have enough. We have enough just to pay bills. And so I got that image from when I was 5 years old, and I carried it all the way up to 35 years old. And sometimes as adults, we're just carrying things that we learn as children.
Yes.
And we're carrying that throughout our lives.
Yes.
And that's still, that works in relationships, that works for health. You know, many individuals say they go to the doctor and the doctor says, okay, what's your family history? What they mean is, what habits did your family do that you're still continuing? That's really what they're asking.
That is.
That goes for money, that goes for relationships, and that goes for your health.
That's right.
And so money was all, especially in the Black community, we always think of money as we really don't have enough. And it's just in habits and resources that we felt that we couldn't get hold of to. And so I had a very limited vision of myself as it related to money.
Okay. I can relate to that. And I want to hear from the audience. Audience question: what was your first lesson concerning money? I call this Money Matters, Breaking Generational Financial Habits. And this is not to shame anyone. This is not to blame anyone. People do the best they can with what they have and the mindset they are in the moment they're in. And this a different time. I can remember, and I'm not sure if it's a cultural thing, but many of us in the African American culture and in the church culture where I was born into, money meant, or what you had on and what you drive meant you had money. Your look, you can look like, oh, she got some money. Yeah, she look like she got some, and don't have nothing, but because of the clothing you wear. My family, between my mom, my dad, and stepdad, all worked for the big three, all worked for GM. So we had different vehicles every couple of years. They got good discounts. So we were able to lease cars. And if my mama got tired of hers, I drove it for another year, and then we switched out. The assumption was they are rich. No. The assumption was our house was the biggest one on the block. They are rich. They get their hair done. They are rich. So people tend to look at what you wear, what you drive, what you live in, and they make this conclusion they must be 100% financially free. No. And again, let me preface this. This is not to shame anyone, but a lot of times when we want to appear a certain way, we are willing to not pay the rent, willing to not pay the mortgage, to buy the clothes, to get the car, to do things that will make people look at us and see prosperity. Problem with that is not honest, and eventually the truth is going to surface that you're struggling.
That's right.
And as a child, and I've mentioned this before, when I grew up, we were in the era of you can rent furniture if you couldn't just buy a living room set. Maybe you don't have $1,200, well, probably more than that now. $1,500, $2,000 for a couch, love seat and a chair. You can go to Rainbow. You can go to Rent-A-Center, and you can pay, $17.81.7. Each week or every 2 weeks, or however you set up, and then you would end up either you pay it off in 90 days, or you go ahead and let it term out, and you pay for it for years.
Yes, right.
And when you do I start crunching the numbers. We have bought this TV 17 times.
That's right.
But what is old is new again. So these furniture stores have something called progressive, where you can say, put a down payment on, pay for a month. We have Klarna, we have Affirm, and I'm not against that. It's just in moderation and responsibly. But what I've learned, if you don't pay that $17.37 per month on the day specified in said contract, you're going to hear there's going to be a knock at your door, and your washer and dryer, your bed, your refrigerator, is going to be taken out of your home and placed back in the truck to go back to the store to be rented to someone else. They don't care if you're in the middle of the rent cycle. Your towels, your drawers, your sheets, whatever is going to be in that washing machine. They're going to unplug it and take your stuff and your washer out the house. Now, again, it's not to make anyone feel ashamed for having to use that. It's that it had been a trap. It had been a trap because you had paid for it. The interest rate was off the chain because you got penalized for not having the best credit. So instead of someone maybe saving up for that living room set and getting something used in the meantime, when you move into a new home, don't make nobody push you into putting stuff in every room if you ain't got the money. It's your house. If you want to live in a bare living room and you just furnish one room at a time, guess whose house it is? Guess whose power it is? Yours.
Yep.
So when we had that going on, we couldn't answer the phone. And again, I'm not trying to discredit or shame anybody, but it made it to be a very tense environment, Andrew. Don't open the blinds. Don't answer the phone. Don't answer the door. We got a comment. Stacy says, rent a center. Yep, they did extend terms when you bought the whole store. Yes. It felt like financial, to be honest, it probably felt like financial freedom. Just like when you get a new credit card. Oh, the Lord done blessed me. Oh, testify, sister. The Lord gave me a Capital One card with a $1,200 limit. But guess what you didn't say? You gotta pay that back. So while you can say the Lord dropped it on you, it ain't free. No. Mess around and miss a payment. Mess around and get that $81 late fee. Mess around. So a lot of things growing up that we thought were financial freedom, Andrew, really was a 4-letter word. Debt. Debt. Now, some debt you can't avoid. But my thing, what it made me do as an adult, Andrew, it made me say, I don't want to lose my stuff. I don't want to lose my home. I don't want to lose my car. Now I went through some of that.
That's right.
I wasn't perfect. And guess what I ended up getting caught up in? And I can say to my family, y'all was on that rent center. Guess what mine was? Payday loans. I thought it was just a one time. Well, I just want to get this one radiator flush. And it turned into 10 years. Hear me, y'all. 10 years of borrowing, paying it back. Borrowing, paying it back. And I look back now, if I had nipped it in the bud sooner, Andrew, I probably could have been a homeowner sooner. Well, that's okay. We live and we learn. But I caution people with that Klarna and that stuff. Be careful because that's a miniature payday loan. Be responsible. Matter of fact, let me show you how you can be responsible. Let me see if y'all can see this. The Highlight Your Life Planner is getting kind of washed out. But LaRoya's Green Highlights business helps us. Self-care, hair care, money care helps us to plan payments. If you're going to partake in these companies and these offers, you got to make sure you are writing down when these payments are due and the money is in the bank when it's due. Because if they hit that account, when I had those payday loans, and I had so many of them, I had 8 at one time. And you might be saying they let you do that. Not in Michigan, but online, there is no limit.
Right.
And I had so many payday loans that payday at my job was not a good day for me, Andrew.
I believe.
Because I knew as soon as my check hit, all of those loans were going to hit, and I was going to be right back in the red, in the negative. So I would have to reborrow all of that again. And once you hit 8 back then, I found out from Googling or whatever that you can call each company and they have to give you a payment plan. They did not want me to know that. It was designed for you to use all of your money. We got a comment. Leonard says, you have to be aware of these minimum payments on these charge cards. Paying only the minimum payments on a card can be a lifetime of payments. Yes.
Right.
And this is why I'm so glad, Andrew, that you and LaRoya are bringing to the forefront financial freedom and how to be smart and savvy and how to bring the spiritual side of this as well, because we know we're believers, so we want to be good stewards over what God has given us. And I don't know about you all, but I'm learning that with many of us, the 9 to 5 is just not enough anymore. What has been your experience being a coach, being a speaker, knowing people? What has been one of the biggest dilemmas when it comes to finances in our community?
Well, I believe it's two things.
Okay.
I think number one is our own self-confidence.
Wow.
Because it's not like we don't have enough money. One individual said, if you took all the money in the world and divided it among everyone, the rich people will still end up with their money back and the poor people will still end up poor.
Wow.
Why? Because it's habits. It's inside of here. It's not the money. My uncle used to make a joke. He said, all that is just dirty paper. All you worry about is some dirty paper.
Wow.
It's our mindsets behind it.
And
I think the second thing is foundation structure with it. A lot of us have access to the money, have had access to the money, but we made bad decisions with it.
Yes.
And so either we've had low self-esteem when it comes to money, or we have a bad plan. They're both are dangerous. They both will have you at zero. I'm reminded about the story my uncle told me about. He was driving his mother, my grandmother, to Atlanta, Georgia, from Detroit. And he started going down 75 north.
Okay. Wow.
And she had fell asleep. But 3 hours later, she woke up and said, Curtis, where are we at? He said, don't worry about it, Mom. We're on our way. Only then when he went to a gas station and he said, trying to get to Atlanta. Well, he said, sir, you're going in the opposite direction. You
My God.
75 south.
Ooh,
now, he had been on his journey for 3 hours.
That's
so
a
not
long
only
time.
did he have to turn back to get back to Detroit.
Yes.
He had to turn around, drive another 3 hours just to get back to Detroit, and now drive another additional 11, 12 hours to get to Atlanta.
Ooh-wee.
And I think sometimes we have to make that decision. We've been stuck and been going down this rabbit hole so long. We need to stop, get a plan, turn around, and it might take a minute for us to get to our goal, but we have to make that decision because he was embarrassed. He said, I drove 3 hours out the way. And a lot of us, I've dealt with the renter centers when they come knocking on the door. And my wife, she's a hairstylist, and she had a client while one of them was knocking on the door. And they kept knocking. I told nobody, don't open that door, because I knew who it was.
Yes.
I knew who it was.
Yes.
And we had to be quiet till they walked away.
Yes. Yes.
I remember getting 4 to 5 payday loans. And like you said, once you get used to getting one of them or two of them, now you got to take out another one just to pay the first
just
two
to pay the yes
and
brother.
I remember this very clearly, me borrowing $300 from a payday loan because I did not pay it back. I wound up paying them back over $2,000 from a $300 loan.
Yes, brother. Yes.
Now multiply that by another 4 or 5 of those jokers.
Yes. Yes.
So I know how it feels, but you have to sit down and say, what is my plan?
What's my plan? Ooh, that's
there
good.
Are strategies out. See, it's one thing not to have a plan at all. It's another thing to see the plan, but now we gotta make it happen, right? We see the plan, now we gotta go to work on it. And that's my job, to help you, get you motivated, to get you strategies to stay focused on that one single thing to get you to the next step. And that's why we're excited by putting on these programs. To, number one, inspire people. Number two, to get them around a different type of community, a community of individuals that want to grow. And then thirdly, Let's have structure. Let's have a plan. Let's have a plan.
I agree. And I will be 100% honest. In my mind, I know how to budget, but I'm learning that thing needs to be written down, because payday can come so quickly in your mind. You feel like pay this. But then I'm like, no, you got to look at what bills take precedence, how much is coming in, how much needs to go out based upon when it's due. If you know you're already at shut-off level with something, or eviction level, or repossession level, that's a hot spot. You can't play around with that. And you wondering why your car is drifting away down the road. Yeah. And you will be amazed at how many adults don't understand how to budget or even how to pay bills based on the due date. They're looking like, well, I only get paid this and this. Well, you got to compare when you get paid to when that bill is due. Because if you're dealing with, over limit fees, late fees, you're just giving away more money. And I don't know about you all, but these credit card fees have started to get into the 3 digits for being a day late, for being $1 short. And they're money makers. They're there to make money. I can't really blame them. I mean, I feel like, come on now, that's too much. But at the end of the day, a plan. How do I use this credit card? I'm always saying it's going to be just for a rainy day. Well, here I am swiping. It ain't raining, but I'm just a swiping. Look what the Lord has done. So we have to have that plan and that structure. That's what I really enjoyed at the last event, because many of us, I can't speak for you all, but from what I can see, we don't pay attention to the groups that we find ourselves attached to, or the crowd we find ourselves leaning on. If you're in a community or a group of people who don't have a plan, everybody is just flying by the seat of their pants. Hi, Kai. Kai says, thank you for speaking on this today. It is our pleasure, sister. That is why we do Power Hour. This is why. We're taking back our power in every area. And finances, I don't know about y'all, but when the money is funny and the change is strange, everything don't feel good. Headaches, anxiety, depression can set in, because not having a plan means when I'm spending, I'm just, I can do that. I can DoorDash that. I can buy that. Next thing you know, you go to log on to your Huntington bank account and you see in red and you want to know, what was that? Oh, that was due. That was due. Oh, you didn't write down the due dates of stuff. Many of us have 20 subscriptions. Netflix, Hulu, Vudu, Tubi, Ubi, Snoopy. We trying to stream from heaven. We got so many streaming services. Ain't that many movies in the world, but some of us can't even afford. We let the advertising for one movie pull us in. Start now for your free trial. But guess what? Mess around and forget to cancel that thing.
That's right.
Boom! There it is. I called my daughter, Gabby, help. She said, Mama, you were supposed to cancel it yesterday. I put it on your phone. I didn't look at the phone. No plan, no structure, no structure. You made a good point when you said many of us have the access to the money. We're going to work, or we're either entrepreneurs or both. Money is coming in. A decent amount of it could be coming in. I could put myself in the space where when I was at my old job, I'm talking 6 figures, but it still felt like it wasn't enough. I didn't have a plan. Who knew? Who expected that after working at that company for 20 plus solid years, that COVID-19 would come? I would end up very ill, cannot work, and there goes the bread and butter of my household. I have no savings. That check to check living, all it takes is one bad day, one unexpected car repair, one increase on your rent, one medical bill that's outlandish, that can put you in a place where you're like, what in the world? I will look at my tax statements because my cousin does my taxes. I made all that. Where did it go? I was embarrassed. Like, I had all of this. You're right. I had all of that at my disposal, Andrew, and still didn't really have anything to show for it. So let's talk about Freedom Friday. What was the why, the driving factor that motivated you to say, you know what, I gotta start helping people with this? What was that driver?
I think number one is most of these plans are not taught, or strategies are not taught in schools. So
right.
One of the things that wealthy people teach their children is collect assets and eliminate liabilities. And what is an asset? An asset brings in money. A liability takes out money. It makes you spend money. So like our car, after you buy a car, you lose, it becomes a liability because you're spending on oil changes, car repairs, gasoline, unless you're using that car to rent out. And now you're using it as an Uber, or you rent it out to a friend for $100 or $200 a week. But if you're just driving it, spending your own gas, that's a liability. If you have a house, right? It is, I know we're taught to buy a house, and that's still good.
Right.
And you get the home equity and all that stuff. But while you're in the house, it's technically a liability because you're paying on taxes, you're paying on utilities, you're getting the upkeep. There's no money coming in unless you buy another property and you use that to rent it out. Now it's an asset.
There you go.
So wealthy people teach their children to create assets. Like I said, if we had a plan, let's say you had a plan, you say, I'm going to take out a credit card. I'm going to buy an asset. Now I can make money on an asset and use some of that money to pay off that credit card. That's a plan versus just getting a credit card to spend to pay your bills.
Wow.
And so those some of the things. They also use life insurance. Even in churches, you know, for those wealthy churches, they'll pay a life insurance for one of the members. Let's say it's $100,000. That member passes away. The family still gets about $70,000, but the church gets $30,000 because the church
didn't know that was a thing.
Insurance.
Wow.
Those are some of the strategies that wealthy people teach, and they've been teaching it for a long time. You know, we all are human beings. We all have eyes, hands. We all put our pants on the same way.
Yes,
but
sir.
It's our thoughts that are different. It's our strategies that are different. It's the people we hang around. You know, if you listen to Myron Golden, he's pretty he's amazing individuals. He's a pastor, he's a business owner as well. And he has what he helps people make $1 million in one day. I used to think that was crazy. One day.
24 hours, brother.
24 hours. Now he's been doing it for 20 years. He's been doing it for 20 years. But he has proven, he has over 10 students that have made over $1 million in one day. And it's not no fluff or anything. You can look them up, whatever. But it's, if you think $1 million is a lot, you're going to always think $1 million is a lot.
Yes, I am.
You think $100,000 is a lot, you're always going to think of $100,000 a lot. And we limit ourselves.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that the wealthy, they teach their children that they don't teach in schools.
Wow.
Like I will get out a piece of paper and write down all of my assets. And write down all my liabilities. And then I would look on the AI and clarify it and confirm, is this an asset or is this a liability? And they'll tell you this is a liability.
Yes.
This is an asset. And then you say, I don't make enough money. And I will ask you, look at that piece of paper. And how many assets do you have versus liabilities? It's impossible to make money if you have way more liabilities than assets.
And I guess, brother, back in the day, you know, I was born in the 70s. these weren't the type of words that you would hear, asset versus liability, unless you were taking, we did have accounting classes in high school.
That's right.
And I remember, asset, liability, supply, demand, little stuff like that. But in terms of your home life, again, that money conversation, it was really a grown person's issue.
That's right.
You a child, stay in a child's place. Here go your $5 allowance. If you be bad, it's gonna go down to $350. That's all you need to know. There really wasn't a coming together to say, okay, you all. And I'm not saying that a parent has to sit their children down and divulge all of their financial business, but at least come up with a plan to discuss the basics of why is it important to have a plan. Did you plan out what you're going to do with your $5? Or are you going to go to the candy store? We used to have penny candy stores. We used to buy junk. Or you're going to give God his 50 cents and whatever. And then you're going to put $1 on, you want a new notebook or whatever. Those conversations, I think, need to be had in a family environment, which means we need to talk to each other. How have you made this a family affair for your family?
But I think I've made it real to me and my wife, we made an effort to make it real to our kids. During the pandemic, we would play what we call the money game. And I would tell them you would have all the fake money, the money they use in the movies.
Right.
And I would start them off, I would give them each $500. And I would say, okay, this is what you would make at a part-time job.
Okay.
And I said, okay, so let's go through some things. Are you gonna live together? It was like, yeah, we're gonna get a house together. I was like, so, okay, so maybe y'all can split rent between the four of y'all. That's still $1,200 a month.
Right.
Right. I said, so now are y'all gonna drive a car? They said, well, we can barely afford rent. I said, okay. So how do we increase our money? Okay. We need to become more valuable. We become more valuable. At McDonald's, they'll pay you $14 an hour to clean the bathrooms.
Yes.
If you clean the bathrooms with a smile on your face and make everybody feel good, they'll pay you $16 an hour.
Come on.
A little bit more valuable. Come on. You get to the cashier, they're gonna pay you $18 an hour.
That's good.
Now you're able to make every burger and know how machines make and know how to manage people. They'll pay you $6 an hour. Woo. This is the same person. So you make more money when you become more valuable. You see, money is not about a bed, it's about a ladder. You go up. The more you go up, the more skills you learn, the more money you get compensated. You know it in your job. You've seen stories all the time where somebody has started at McDonald's.
Yes.
They work their way up, and now they are a franchise person. They own the franchise in that particular location because they work themselves. They became more valuable each year. And that's why I say, get back to the plan. What are you going to do? What skills are you going to learn to become more valuable? During the pandemic, when everybody was trying to figure out what was going on, what Netflix shows can I watch? There's nothing to do. There's always something to do. There's always a skill you can learn. I taught my kids how to sail during the pandemic. I taught them how to play the piano during the pandemic. I taught them how to work together as a group during the pandemic. Faith has a business where sometimes in a week she makes more than me.
Come on, Faith edits. Come on.
And she's 16 years old.
16.
She developed a skill. She didn't come out the womb knowing how to do graphics.
My God.
She worked on it. Herman didn't come out the womb knowing how to play the keyboard. She worked on it during the pandemic.
That's good, brother.
And so you got to take advantage. What books are you reading to develop skills? Who are you around to develop your skills? What classes are you taking? When you take those, and that's why it gets back to your plan. If you're going to take out a credit card to go get that book or go into that classroom, take that class to help you develop that skill, that's good. That's a plan because you're now putting yourself in a position where 2 years, 5 years, 10 years later, you at your goal, you at that career path. but we have to slowly develop skills. And that's what we taught the kids. The more skills you develop, the more money you make. Because they found out with that $500 that wasn't going to pay anything. I said, let's develop some skills. I told Harmony, I said, hey, you can learn how to play this piano, and a church will pay you an average of $300 a week just for an hour of your time. You can go play for weddings and make $400 an hour. You go play for a funeral, make $250 an hour.
Come on.
So in 6 hours, you made what most people make working 80 hours.
Come on. Are you going to teach me, brother?
Come on.
You going to teach me how to? Come on.
Playing the piano is like typing on a typewriter. If you know how to type, you know how to play the piano. But most people, they have thought in their minds that they can't play because somebody told them as a child, this is not your talent, or you can't do this. You can go on any YouTube station and type in piano beginner, learn one song. And you can learn a song in 5 to 10 minutes, no matter where you at, no matter if you've never touched it before. You learn 5 songs, they'll pay you at least $150.
Come on. And I'm going to play and sing. I've had some good days.
There we go. But it's our mindset. That's what I always
do both.
That's why I number one thing I do with individuals, I train their minds.
Come on.
I train their minds.
Yes.
That's why even when Jesus first appeared, he said, repent. That does not mean to be sorry. That means to change your way of thinking.
Ooh-wee.
His first encounter with the disciples, he saw them with an empty boat and they had no fish in the boat. He said, what's going on? They was like, hey, master, we've been working on this thing all night. He said, but you had the wrong mindset. I need you to go deeper. I need you to go further. And when you have a different mindset of now you're going to go further. And so I hope individuals are going to take in this call and say, hey, what are my assets? What are my liabilities? What skills have I developed? Get honest with yourself. Go deeper. Take your lid off of your faith, off your mindset, off your money.
That's so good. That's so good. Leroy said, you better teach, honey. and interestingly, and let me go back to what you said. Mm-hmm. All that the Griffin girls have been able to accomplish, and if you haven't seen these girls in action, at least on social media, because their father's going to make sure you see them. Their mama's going to make sure, because they travel around. They do a lot of good things. All that they are able to do is a reflection of what their parents taught them to do. So I'm wondering, audience, are we teaching our children, even in a pandemic? And you're right. I don't know what people were doing at home, but it forced us to sit down and come up with strategies for our families.
That's right.
And I would like to see us do this. And that's why you're giving me some ideas for the Verge Youth Podcast to do a youth version of a budgeting session. That's what you just described. I would love for us to get our young people and walk it through together. This is how much you got. How you going to get from A to B? How you going to get the things that you need? Because can you imagine if they have a concept of that at 10, 11, 12, if Faith is able to make money at 16, can you imagine where she will be at 26, at 32, at 45, off the charts, unlimited money-making abilities. And I'm not knocking a 9 to 5, because I have been working in a 9 to 5 for 30-something years. It's been a blessing. However, no matter how hard you work, no matter how hard you grind, you're only going to make what's on that piece of paper.
That's right.
Whether it's 14 an hour, 17 an hour. And then after you've been with a company so long, they got so slick, well, they put you in these different quadrants. Well, you know what, Tanya, since you've been here 20 years, we really can only give you a 0.22% raise. Yes, you saved us $2 trillion. Yes, you have opened up, ways for us to do this. Yes, you've trained, but because you've been here so long, we can only pay you a point. If we give you an increase at all, Tanya, we can give you a 0.22% increase and $2 jelly beans. That is all that we are able to provide, and just keep working hard, keep stressing yourself out, keep not going to lunch, just and keep making us rich, because we are in the top such and such of our industry because of all of your hard work, Latanya. No, no, that's not going to work forever for me. Now, mind you, I thank God for what he's allowed me to do in corporate America. I have learned so many marketable, transferable skills that are now helping me in my entrepreneurial efforts. So if you're going to go the route of a job, soak it all up and apply that to how you can become valuable as your own brand. Andrew Griffin is a brand. The Griffin Girls, LaRoya Dean Griffin, Green Highlights. These are brands in one house. In one home, they have multiple brands. So I hope if you don't get nothing else from this, Stacey said the devil is a liar. Yeah. I'm telling you, because you can work so hard and the person next to you could be not doing nothing. Barely doing the minimum, and you pretty much gonna get the same thing, even though the efforts don't match. And I'm not saying that a job can just have an open bank for you to go in. Well, just tell us what you want. Just go on in there and get what you want. That's unrealistic. However, if you're like me, and I'm in my 50s now, and I'm, coming to what would be retirement age, but there's something that I want to be able to do beyond that. That's right. Not work. That feels so good, and I want to be able to do it. And my bank account is moving while I'm sleeping. I want to be able to wake up and say, look what the Lord has done in my sleep. And that's where that plan is coming in. And these particular sessions, you all, are helping us to determine what of value can we do, and maybe even create a business out of, to create that financial freedom. Some of you all think because you came from, a family that didn't have much, you came from being on, and you may still be on government assistance, you came from minimal means, that there's a ceiling on what you can do. Only if you think it is, and only if you put it there. But if you sit down in a group of people that are there to remind you that each of us has a purpose. That's right. Each of us has something that God gave us individually. I call it a seed of greatness. What are you going to do with that seed? How are you going to water it? What's your plan? Can you research it? Because you might make the best fried chicken in the world, and people will come from the north, the south, the east, and the west. I'm so churchy. For your fried chicken, for your church base and pound cake, for your coaching, for your instruction, for your training. Huh? I need you all to get in the room. Tell us about this event. Let me get the flyer up, brother. Let me grab the flyer. Let me see if I can get this to show. And let's talk about this event. I'm trying, y'all. Come on, flyer.
There we go.
You see it? Oh, there we go. All right, brother, you got the floor. Let's talk about Freedom Friday.
Well, I'm excited because I get to partner with my beautiful wife, as you see on the flyer. So we had so many babies, right?
She's so pretty.
But it's going to be an evening, like it says on the flyer, where we get to eat, learn, connect, and grow. Make this be the last year you say, I can't afford this. Make this be the last year that you go into the grocery store looking at the red stickers. Let this be the last year where you can't go on a vacation. You made promises, and I've been there where I made promises. I said, this year we're going to make it, but it turns out to be like every other year. Why? Because we haven't made a decision. She could have easily charged people $100 to come to this event.
Mm-hmm.
But she said, I'm gonna feed people.
Come on.
I'm gonna teach them, and we're gonna give them all these resources. We're gonna get individuals in front of them that know what they're talking about.
Yes.
And you're gonna eat for $10, right? And
You
$15
can't beat
a
that with a
couple.
stick. Can't beat it.
Because we learn when you're able to grow together and learn together, the sky is the limit. Remember, you only need 2 or 3, where 2 or 3 are gathered.
Woo! Come on, come
on.
on.
If you or your spouse are on one accord with your finances,
yes,
the sky is the limit. And so
wow.
the address is on the flyer, 13311 Mack Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48215. We do need you to RSVP,
please,
as soon as possible, and I'll just put that number out there.
Okay.
They can RSVP by going to texting area code 586-646-3440, or they can go to that flyer and just go ahead and pay the $15 or $10. That's going to register you as well. So we encourage, because space is limited, because everybody doesn't want it. And one thing that you cannot waste in this day of time is time. Time is more valuable than anything. And we're going to go hard for the people who want to learn, who want it for 2026, who want this to be the year, not just talking about it, but actually doing it.
Yes.
Doing it. And you only do that by making a decision. Decide. If you look at the last 3 letters, decide, homicide, suicide. What does those words have in common? They all mean something have to die. Your excuses have to die.
My God.
You have to decide. You can't just say, I'll try this. Because trying is failure with honor.
Ooh-wee.
Trying is failure with honor. You either do it or you don't. You either make it happen this year or you don't. How many promises are you going to keep breaking because you haven't decided? And that's what I had to do. I had to get to that point where I decided that this was going to be it, that my family was not going to keep struggling, that we were not going to still live under this generational curse or habit curse, that we're going to make decisions that's going to help people years and generations, because what? We made a decision. We had a plan. We had a vision. We rewrote the vision that God had for us.
Yes. Wow. And we've been doing Power Hour together. This is our 3rd year, I think. We're at 2.5 to 3 years. And I look back at when we first started, having lost home, marriage, health, and every time we would get together faithfully, every month, I would have a plan to do something for me. I have a plan to choose me, whether it meant, I began a new career in healthcare. I set out to own a home by my 50th birthday. And I can honestly say, and I mean this, that having these conversations with you in an environment, even when we do the events, they have fueled my desire to live a better life for myself. I implore you all, get in the room, invest in your mental health. Because if you're anything like me, you get tired of the same thing over and over. You get tired. And again, I'm not saying don't say she said quit your job. No, she didn't say that. The devil's a liar. I'm just saying it made me look at, well, if I do go to a 9 to 5 from 6 to 10 is about my business.
That's right.
It made me decide I will no longer give the employer so much of me to the point where when I get home, I have nothing left for myself. And it made me figure out I had been a professional helper outer. LHG was the support cheerleader for every organization. Hold on a minute now. I got my own thing I want to do.
That's right.
So the same way you said have a plan about your money, you may do the same thing about your time.
That's got to.
Because I said, Lord, your abundant life that you speak about in your word cannot just be getting up early, being mad about the job that I have, crying all the way there, getting sick while I'm there because I know this is not your plan for me forever, coming home upset, so tired, I can barely even cook a meal. I'm going to bed or getting my clothes ready for the next day. And I do that for 5 straight. Matter of fact, it was actually, I was kind of like on call as a claims manager. Like with this power stuff we just had, I would have been at work every day, 7 days, because those phone calls y'all making, I'm so sorry y'all had no power. Those calls are going to insurance companies for flooding, for home damage, for food spoilage. That's what I used to do. I managed the people who did that. And when those phone calls got too much, guess who put a headset on herself? I ain't gonna folks busy and I'm gonna be doing nothing. Okay, I'm taking the call. Let's go. I began that way. So I decided, Andrew, if we're gonna do Power Hour, and God is all powerful, and He has given us wisdom through these events on how to take back our individual power. This is working. This is working. I can look back and say, in a measurable way, when we first start talking about this, confidence. I don't care what you do, whether you flip burgers or houses. Confidence is that foundational concept. When the Griffin girls get up, you're going to see smiles. You're going to see church mother. You're going to see them arms flapping. You're going to see that. You're going that Griffin girl move. You're going to see, and every time I see them, they get stronger and stronger in what they do. They add more value to what they do every time they get up. And even if you are in a 9-to-5, get one that you at least like, where you can say, welcome to McDonald's, what can I prepare for you today, with a smile, and not sound like you're mad with the world, and not sound like you just woke up. Maybe you can walk into that office and get on the phone, put your headset on, and take all these power outage calls with people who are upset with you. But you can say, I'm so sorry about, they're out there now, ma'am. I know you got people in your home. I know it's warm. Your food is full, but we are working. We've called in the troops from other states. We've called in 200 more trucks as of last night. I'm here to tell you help is on the way. And you can do that for hours and not lose it, when you have value in you first and what you do for others.
That's right.
So I'm going to let y'all know, I really want us to pack this place out this Friday and come just ready to receive, and bring your notebook. I don't go, and maybe you use your phone, but I'm old school. I have to be able to write. And I kept my notes from last time. I like to look back at them so I can make sure whatever I write in the margins is to myself. Now, you need to be doing A, B, and C this week, girl. Put yourself to the test and say, no, okay, yeah, we got to do this. I'm not just going to be going and don't do anything. This is an action. It's a call. It's a clarion call to action, to take your power back, make your plan, and make a decision. He said, I am saying, I heard you say, brother, you made some decisions. You said, you know what? This got to change.
That's right.
Something has to change. Let's sit down as a family, as a couple, and find out what we can do differently. Because if you don't make changes, nothing will change. And I don't know about you all, but I feel like I've been missing out on some good stuff. And I want financial freedom to be my portion. I don't want to have to always say, well, yeah, I do need a vacation. I can't really afford it. Or I do want to go to that event. I've seen some AI teaching sessions. I've seen some podcasting retreats that I want to go to, but I want to have a plan, set out so much money per month, per check, whatever. This is going to be the money I use to invest back in what I do.
That's right.
A plan. The money for many of us, we get decent money. It's just having a plan. What can I get rid of that I don't need? that I can use towards investing towards what I do need. I drive for Hop Skip Drive. So for me, when I go to get an oil change, that's money. I pick up keys. I need this car to be insured,
That's
to be
right.
clean, it got to be inspected. It can't have so much damage. So when I take care of my vehicle, I do that, and I can go back and put money back into my household because that car helps me make money.
That's right.
Wow, this is so good. This is so good. Okay, so before we switch to wrapping up, I got some announcements. I want to give you the floor, brother. Is there anything else we need to cover about Friday?
No, but just individuals to make the decision. You know,
Yeah.
what you recognize, you energize.
Ooh, that's
What
good.
you recognize, you energize. And a lot of times we've been recognizing that we are broke versus
See?
recognizing our potential. And when you get to one thing I love about what my mother taught me, she taught us how to love people.
Yes.
And I look at every person that I see as my brother or sister.
Mm-hmm.
And you do not like to see your brother or sister struggle.
No.
Especially when you have answers. But
Yes,
when
sir.
you learn certain things that can help your brother and sister. And so if you want to make that decision for yourself and your family in 2026, I challenge you to be in a room. I challenge you.
Yes,
I
sir.
double dog dare you to be in the room.
Double dog dare you. Get it
Double
there.
dog. Because it's time for a change. And
It
the only way
is.
you get there is to change your habits, change your mindset.
I love that. Change your paradigm. It's the real deal. I'm telling you, there's so much power in a mindset shift.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And it reminds me, one of my favorite movies is Shawshank Redemption. I could watch it over and over and never get tired. There was this one man that had been locked up for about 60, 70 years.
Wow.
And they finally said, "You free." He didn't make it because he didn't know how to be free. He had lived in bondage for so long. The outside world was so foreign. We had 4, 5, 6 more presidents. We had now had cell phones. He didn't know what that was. And
that's right. That's right.
He wanted to go back, and he did something to try to go back because prison had become home. Many of us have been in financial turmoil for so long. We always wake up, well, I'm broke again. Our language has adapted to our current situation to where even what we say is doom and gloom.
Right.
We've gotten so conditioned to, well, I already know I ain't going to be able to do that. I already know I ain't going to qualify for that. I already know they ain't going to hire me for that. Then you've sealed it. You've sealed it. But if you shift your mind, get in a room of mindset shifters, open up your mind to a new attitude about you. My brother mentioned it goes back to self-esteem. Yeah. Maybe as a kid, you didn't have it. Maybe you were bullied, been there. Maybe you were too big, too skinny, too tall, couldn't read, couldn't talk, something. They always found something. But here you are as an adult. Whose power is it? God is all powerful, and he's giving you the power to make a decision that I'm going to change the rooms I'm in. Now we get in some rooms with some people that are saying some things that are going to change my life forever. And I listen, Leroy said, double dog. Wow, yippee yo, yippee yay. Get in the room. That's right, Stacy. We have to speak life and then put the actions behind the speaking.
That's right.
It's got to go together. Speak life, do something that brings life, and then speak. It's a sandwich. Speak it, do something, and then speak some more life. That's what you're gonna do. We're gonna do the sandwich approach. I want to see you all in the room because I just believe we really are better together.
That's right.
Community is so. There are numbers out there. See, I'm not Andrews. I don't know all the numbers, but there are numbers that show we learn better together in a community.
Absolutely.
Our attention is honed in on the one focal point. When you come to a spot where you can't be washing dishes, you can't be doing, no, you in this room with the focus on listening, absorbing, learning, taking notes, making plans. And sometimes you got to come out of the house and change where you go so that you can get in the room for these things to happen. I'm telling you, I'm excited. I'm excited. I really want you all to get in this room. And we are creating a community. This is a community. Rewrite the Vision is a community. Green Highlights LLC is a community of saving money. We're coming together, a community of accountability. Doing it together. Maybe you don't do it that well the first month. Get back on in here. Come on, it's okay. Things can happen. Get back in there and let's go. We cannot afford to allow one thing derail our entire purpose. No more purpose derailment. Get back on track. Get back on track and get some people that may hold you up so you can make sure you stay on track. It's doable, y'all. All right. Let me get these announcements. I'm going to have our brother pray us out. Let me bring up some more flyers. All right. Let's see. All right. Pastor Stacy, my sister, the Women's Conference for the Dying Peace Women's Ministry is happening in September. Register. It's a weekend event. Last year was amazing. The theme is manifest. So I want you all to get your tickets, ladies. We're going to have a great time in the Lord. We see on the flyer some amazing speakers that are going to be there. We're going to be doing our meeting in the ladies' room, talking about issues that concern us. No men allowed, just being us and enjoying each other and loving on each other. So that's going on. I don't have the flyer up, but I will tell you tomorrow night. Y'all put in the chat tomorrow night. We are talking about the peaceful, poetic place. If you know anything about me, I am a supporter of the P3. The creator is Natasha Ane. We call her Miss Beautiful Thought. Every so many weeks, she does a new version of this event, this worship encounter with different artists, poets, mimes, dancers, live band, vendors. It is just incredible for the spirit. Her theme this time is joy. So tomorrow night, I'm bringing on Natasha Ane and Devon Kelly. He's going to be doing a poem, and he has a book called Change or Die. Come on, man. Hit you in your gut. That's my kind of, listen, either you're going to change or you're going to be up out of here. Change or die. Okay? And I can't wait to talk to them about what inspired that book. It's a strong title. I can't wait to learn what is in that book so we can get our copy and support him. A new brother of mine. But every time Natasha Ane does her P3 event, I try to have her on because every time her theme aligns with what I need in my life. And after going through health issues, there she is. Hey, sister. Thank you for checking in. After going through health issues, going through a divorce, self-esteem issues, you tend to lose your joy in a lot of that. But we're talking about the kind of joy that surpasses human comprehension. It's not predicated on a lack of money or circumstantial. It's that God kind of joy that the world didn't give and the world can't take away. So I want you to be in the room tomorrow night at 7. You'll learn about how to get your tickets through the P3. Natasha, you can drop that link if you can. I'm telling you, it is the most wonderful time of community, of fellowship, worship to our Lord. It's good for your mind. It's good for your body. It's good for the human spirit. I've been a part of the community for the P3 for the last several years. I hate to miss it. and I will be in the place, and I want you to get your ticket. Tomorrow night, we're going to be talking about it. You'll learn who the artists will be. There'll be vendors in the room. So I am inviting you to join us back here tomorrow night on CCN. All you got to do is go and subscribe on YouTube, Critical Conversations Network, or on Facebook. And that way you will see when I pop up live, whenever I'm live. You won't miss anything, but make sure you save that time. Tomorrow at 7, we are talking about the peaceful poetic place. I'm telling you, joy. That's something that we need so much more of. We are losing our mental stability. Our mental health is being challenged by lack. It's the other reason why you got to get to Financial Freedom Friday. They tie together. You're gonna make it a whole weekend. You're gonna go to the Friday event, and then you're gonna go to the Saturday P3 to bring it all together. But that's how you cultivate joy in your life on a consistent basis. You gotta have joy on a repeat. It's got like your favorite song that you can listen to no matter every day, all day. Joy has to be on a repeat like that, and we gotta find ways to bring that joy into our lives and to the lives of others. I want to spread joy, Jesus joy. So that's what we got going on. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, be in the room. All right. Brother Andrew, thank you. Thank you. I am so grateful to you for rocking with your sister. No matter what. Thank you, LaRoya. Griffin girls, I love you all. Griffin girls, congrats for being involved in the Fielder Praise recording. Just the other day, I was so godly proud of both girl groups. It was a phenomenal evening of worship. Regardless of the storm, we made it in there.
That's right.
And I'm praying that all of you all's power is restored very soon. So, brother, you got the floor.
Well, again, I want to thank you for this podcast. Thank you for all your encouragement. The way you make this look easy, and I know it's not easy, for you supporting everyone. So we thank you. I want to encourage individuals again to come out on Friday for Freedom Friday, Freedom Financial Friday, because we want to make 2026 the last year you say, I can't do this. I can't afford that. And we want to give you strategies, but not only strategies, but have a community where we hold each other accountable, where we make stuff happen. So with that, I want to pray us out. Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for the challenges, because we know you're with us, and we've gotten through every challenge before, and we know we're going to get through all of the future challenges because you're with us. We can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. We thank you for strengthening us, ordering our steps, guiding us. Please, Lord, if there's anyone on this line that's represented here that needs healing in their body, give them the healing, ease the pain, comfort them, as we know you always will. Go with us as we travel, give us traveling mercies, and bless and strengthen each and every business that's surrounded, each and every family, heal each and every body. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. I was able to find the flyer, so I need you all to take a look at this before we get out of here. July 11th, doors open at 5:15. Here are the artists that will be on the stage. And Devon Kelly is one. He's going to be doing a poem as well. I need you all to get in the room, and I do have the link to get your tickets. It's up here on the screen as well. Get in the room. Find things to do that bring you joy, that connect you to people who are like-minded. You meet wonderful people when you get out of the house and do something different. So from Friday night right on into Saturday, we got your weekend lined up for you for a reasonable price. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Power Hour. This is where we give you your virtual huddle. We remind you to never shrink yourself and that you are more than enough. Have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow here virtually, but Friday in person. All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming through the comments. Love you all. Good night. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.